The thing that is critical to buyers, and the thing that more and more astute consultative brokers are beginning to understand, is the symmetry of total cost of risk. And here's what it means. 20% of a buyer's costs, when you talk about their total cost of risk, of which the insurance is only 20% of that cost. The other 80% is in their other areas of cost of risk. The cost of indirect loss costs, which is after a loss. If a buyer then has a loss, we will turn around and we will restore them to where they were before that loss. But how did that loss impact their business? And, I'll use an example, for instance, of a branding loss. We can go in and we can provide a buyer with the product's recall insurance, and we will, of course, take care of the loss of the product's recall. But what about the loss to their brand? The loss to their brand is massive. We many other examples. What about a contractor that has a large truck that they're using, and that particular truck gets in an accident? Oh, we'll repair the truck. But what about all the other loss that was associated to that? What about the possible injury to the employee, whether you have workers' comp or you don't? The cost of that employee, the cost of the lost revenue from that truck, the cost from the administrative standpoint, the cost of having to go out and having to perhaps delay work on a job site. That's the additional cost of risk. So when we as agents and brokers, or any agent and broker, goes out and says to a buyer, we can reduce your premium by 30%. And I know that's a big number, but let's just use it for example. We can reduce your premium by 30%. All they're really able to do then is to reduce the buyer's costs by 6%. Because they're only impacting the insurance premium. They don't even know how to go in and impact where the buyer lives. Because if we can then go and we can impact the rest of the buyer's total cost of risk, we can provide them with an additional 24% savings. Now, that's the power of understanding how to work with consultative brokerage.